Hello, this is my review of the Beasts of the Mesozoic 1/18th scale Qianzhousaurus sinensis. Now, the first thing I have to say is that this is one of the better Beasts of the Mesozoic figures that I have at the moment. The sculpting and painting is nothing less of what I expect from Creative Beast Studios. The texture of the skin, the sculpting of the crest, and the shaping of the entire body is just incredible. They managed to really capture the sort of lean and uh, the lean proportions of the real animal. Qianzhousaurus was a tyrannosaurid from China, and they were thought to be sort of pursuit predators because they have these long legs and these thin heads. In fact, their heads are so thin and long that they have the nickname Pinocchio Rex. But the details are insane. They even painted the inside of the mouth, as you can see, with, of course, every figure they made, they paint the inside of the mouth and each tooth. And, of course, no matter how small the tongue is, it has to be posable. You can see that right there. Now, what I like about the coloring is the sort of dark, sort of dorsal area here. Makes for a really nice contrast for the brighter colors like the oranges and the blues. You can see here how the oranges here, they and the blues, the blue stripes really pop when in contrast with the dark background of the top half here. And also, you can see how the legs are striped. I really like the striping on the legs. It looks really cool. Now on to articulation. I'll get it off the base. Now what I find really cool about these new Tyrannosaur figures is that they can stand on their own without the base. See, I have the base here. It's not standing on the base. It's standing by itself without any aid, without a stand arm, without a peg on its foot, without any base. And that's one of the things I like about these new Tyrannosaur figures. You can display them without the base. Just incredible. You can even display the smaller ones without a base, like the Proceratosaurus or the Guanlong. I've seen other reviewers be able to stand up the Guanlong and the Proceratosaurus without using the base. But I must also say that the base is recommended in the instructions for long-term displaying. So if you want to display this on your shelf, set it and forget it. I also recommend to keep it on the base so that the joints don't get loose over time from the stress. Anyways, on to posability now. The head can turn side to side really far. I think this figure has some of the best posability out of all the Beasts of the Mesozoic figures. It can also look really far up. That's like super far, like looking straight up. And it can move down that much. So if you want, you can have a display of the Qianzhousaurus chasing something small. Or you can have a display of the Qianzhousaurus looking up at the sky for whatever reason. As I've established earlier, the mouth can open and the tongue can pose. Now for the arms. The arms can move forward and back. It has elbows that can straighten and bend this much. And it can swivel out and in. The wrists can bend inwards and outwards on this hinge, but it's also on a swivel. So if you want, you can break its wrists. Not like literally, but if a real Qianzhousaurus had its wrists like this, it'd be broken. The midsection is on a ball joint, so it can move slightly up, not that much, slightly down, not that much, but it moves side to side way more. So you can get some really nice poses of Qianzhousaurus looking around. And they even painted stripes underneath the cut for the articulation so that you don't break the paint job. The legs can move forward that much, though if you move them forward, they move more out, and they kind of bend the torso a certain way when you move them forward. And they also bend backward that much. And then the knees can extend and bend that much, and also swivel. The ankles can bend and extend and also swivel. The toes can extend like that, so you can get it into some running poses. They can also move forward about that much, and of course they're on a swivel as well. And you can see the peg hole at the bottom here for when you display it on the stand. Finally, we come to the tail, which is at a ball joint at the base, so it can move up and down, and the rest of the tail is bendy wire, so you can move the tail any direction you want. Man, I just love the painting on the tail. Like, it has the dark top, and then it has a blue streak, and then at the bottom it's a really like rusted color, reddish orange that fades into a sort of off-white creamy layer. I love that painting Like it's like the blue is the border. Oh man, I just love it. I love it so much. It's really nice how they, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually based off of a real animal. The paint job is based off of a real reptile. So it's really nice that they do that because it adds a sort of realism to it. Like, this could actually be that color or be that pattern because the real animal has that pattern and color to it. That's why I like figures like the Velociraptor mongoliensis and the Dromaeosaurus albertensis with its coloring based on an American kestrel. Anyways, now for the accessories. Comes with a base with 2 peg holes. You can peg both feet into the peg holes. You can see both feet have holes in them for pegs. And in the middle of the stand, you got a ball joint here for the stand arm. So you can display it and hold it up and stuff. Now, one thing I do like about it is that it's way easier to take the stand arm out of the stand because there have been issues before where I have broken the stand arm to the stand because the ball joint was so tight in there. Here's one of the stands. There. That's what it looks like. There is a shorter version. So, in case you want to have a pose that's low to the ground or have the stand arm be less intrusive, you can have this smaller stand arm. It fits into the stand like that. Just push it in. Don't be too hard with it or else you'll break it. Then you have this piece, which is a cradle. I used it to cradle the sort of upper leg near the knee area so that the leg joints aren't under so much stress from the weight of the figure. It also comes with this cradle that's meant for holding the leg, the lower leg, and also for cradling the area between the legs. And you have this, which is a curved piece, so that you can have the cradle curve outwards or inwards to get extra angles to help with your posing. So let me try configuration now. If I go long stand arm, curved piece, thin cradle, then plugged that in, plug the Qianzhousaurus in. Look at that. See? It's doing its job. Or I can have thin cradle on long stand arm without the curved piece. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, anyways. So the figure also comes with alternate feet. So this foot here is sort of curved. So let's say you want to, hang on. Let's say you want to put it in a sort of pose where its feet are spread apart like that, but it just looks weird with the flat feet here. Well, you can take one of these feet, make sure that the toe with two segments, this one here, is on the inside of the foot. So we need this one here. No, wait. Yeah, we need this one here to go on this foot. What we do is that we take the foot off, just pops off the ball joint here, and we put the new foot on. It's kind of hard to do. I recommend you soak the parts in hot water before putting them on to soften up the plastic. So that you don't accidentally break it. There we go. No. There we go. Alright, see? Look at that. So, one thing you gotta know though, the alternate feet do not have a peg hole, so you need to put the open foot in the peg hole, and then this come on. Yeah, it's a little fiddly sometimes. It's really fiddly sometimes. Alright, I guess that works. Ah! Man. There, see? Now it looks natural. Now it looks good. We also have these pair of closed toes that you put on the figure when it has a foot off the ground. So if you want to make a pose of the figure taking a step, you can just pop off the foot, make sure that the toe with two segments faces the inside. Then you pop it on. Again, the alternate foot does not have any peg hole, which is kind of a shame, because if there was a peg hole in the alternate feet, then it would be way easier to pose them around and such. But there we are. It's a pose that it looks like it's taking a step. Really nice. Now, onto the final accessory, the card. You get some really nice artwork on the back of it scratching itself, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like it's sort of scratching itself with its foot there. I really bet you can put it in that pose if you wanted to. I'm not going to try though. I put it in enough poses already in this video. Then we have another image, another picture of the figure there with information on it. So it says the name Qianzhousaurus sinensis. Then it says what the name means, Qianzhou lizard. Qianzhousaurus means Qianzhou lizard because Qianzhou, I guess, is the place where it was found. Length up to 6.3 meters, 20 feet. Weight 757 kilograms or 1,669 pounds. Location Nanjing Formation, Qianzhou, China. Time period 67 to 66 million years ago, late Cretaceous. Named by Lo Zhengchang at 2014. And here we go. Some more information. Famously nicknamed Pinocchio Rex, Qianzhousaurus is one of the 3 species of long-snouted Asian tyrannosaurs of the Alioraminea branch. Qianzhousaurus was more lightly built than its robust tyrannosaur cousins, and was adapted to catch faster prey such as oviraptors and ornithomimids. Now, I say we do a little size comparison. So, here's Qianzhousaurus compared to some previous figures that I reviewed. The beasts of the Mesozoic, Fan's Choice, Styracosaurus albertensis. You can see he is fairly big. Now, what the Qianzhousaurus does look pretty small next to these figures. It measures at about 13 inches from head to tail. And it measures, depending on the pose it's in, about 4.5 inches from foot to hip. Here's Qianzhousaurus with a really big figure that I have. I think it's the biggest Beast of the Mesozoic figure in my collection. The fans' choice, the Beast of the Mesozoic fans' choice, Pachyrhinosaurus lacustai. You can see just how huge it is next to this little Qianzhousaurus. And we have it next to the comparatively way smaller, especially to all the other figures, Beasts of the Mesozoic 1/18 scale Velociraptor mongoliensis. And finally, we have it scaled next to a 1/18 scale humanoid figure. So if a human were standing next to a real, like if a real human were standing next to a real Qianzhousaurus, this is about the size difference it'd be. Really big for such a lightly built and nimble predator. But I bet you that if it were around today, it would definitely prey upon humans. Such a nice looking figure. Anyways, that is my review of the Beasts of the Mesozoic 1/18 scale Qianzhousaurus sinensis. Anyways, bye.